So after this Allah says, Ihdina as-Siratal mustaqim. Then this yearning is what? This yearning is, oh Allah, guide us to the path that is mustaqim. What is mustaqim? This is always translated as the straight path. Actually, this is not the case. Mustaqim is from the idea of seeking istiqamah. Oh Allah, we seek your guidance to the path of istiqamah, meaning that perpetual istiqamah. You know, istiqamah is the highest level of guidance. There's hadayah, and then to have hadayah, to have guidance, you need ilm, you need knowledge, you need tawfiq, you need the opportunity from Allah, you need istita'a, you need the ability to do the good deeds, to do the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you need istiqamah. You need the highest level of is istiqamah. Ihdina as-Siratal mustaqim. Oh Allah, guide us to the path of istiqamah. Oh Allah, guide us not to the straight path, to the path of perpetual steadfastness. This is what the straight line means. It's perpetual, it's just a straight line of steadfastness. This is what it means. Let us just walk steadfast without turning right and left. Just let us be focused and steadfast. And you know, the opposite of istiqamah is sabr. The positive word for being disciplined and sticking to your guns. You know, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. Those people who said Allah is our Rabb, ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. Then they had istiqamah over this, right? So but this here you're asking for perpetual istiqamah. Always in the state of istiqamah. So ihdina as-Siratal mustaqim, to be an abd of Allah, is to be an abd of Allah, is to be in a state of perpetual istiqamah. That every choice of your life is based upon the idea that you're showing your firm footing in the guidance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided. So ihdina as-Siratal mustaqim. And who are those people that ulul azmi min ar-rusul? Who are those people? Min al-nabiyyin wa-siddiqeen wa-shuhada'a wa-salihin. Who are those people who had perpetual steadfastness? Then over here is Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. Who is that path of istiqamah? Is the path of the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the siddiqeen, those people who were able to see the truth when they saw it, and the shuhada, those activists and those movers and shakers who were able to do the work for the deen, and salihin, those people who were able to bring good into the world. So Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. Now this part is overlooked, but this is extremely important. So you're asking to be in the straight path. And there are two things that will take a person out of the straight path. So one is Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdub. So not of those people that are maghdub, that Allah is angry with, and therefore they themselves have anger. They have anger issues because of Allah. Because inni kama dhanna abdi anni. If Allah is angry with a person, if Allah is happy with a person feels good inside. If Allah is angry with the person, upset with the person has he instead of having nafsul mutma'inna, you have a nafsul fasad inside. So غير المغضوب is the people that went wrong because they didn't have the right attitude towards Allah. Because when you do not see that mercy of Allah that's mentioned in the beginning of Fatiha, like Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmid, that positive attitude towards Allah, then you develop a type of anger attitude towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You begin to become negative about your feelings to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove any negativity from our heart. And this is what happened to a people before us that had this problem amongst the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent many prophets amongst the Jewish community. There was people that the prophets had come to, but they didn't trust in Allah. They didn't do what the prophet said because they didn't see Allah in that merciful light. So, and غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, nor like those people, ضَالِّينَ وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. See, ضَالَّ is when you're no longer, ضَالَّ is specifically used when you don't have rationale, when you lose your mind, when you're not objective in your rationality. This is ضَالِّينَ. So either you go astray because you don't have the right emotions in place to see the mercy of Allah, or you go astray because you're not able to use your mind properly. So the Christians, they went astray because they didn't apply their mind. So you know, in this ayah, وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى, and many of the other ayahs where the word ضَالَّة, it's referring to a mental activity. O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this ayah, by the way, this other ayah is translated, وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا, O Muhammad, we found you searching, using your rationality. But you weren't in the proper way. وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى, but then we guided you to the straight path. So here, we have صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ, this is the people that believed. So صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ, this is the people who believed. They're in 4 categories, نَبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاء وَالصَّالِحِينَ. And then, and this is by the way in Surah An-Nisa where Allah says, those people that we have blessed, مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاء وَالصَّالِحِينَ حَسَنَتْ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا, these are the best companions. And then, there are then these people that go astray because they don't have a right attitude towards Allah's deen. They don't have a right attitude towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They don't see the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this leads a person astray. The other is those people who don't use their minds. So, to be guided, what does this tell us? That number one, we should be extremely careful of the mistakes of the people before us. And if you want to summarize all the mistakes that we Muslims will make, that is summarized in غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, because the Prophet told us we would make all the mistakes that the previous people before us made. And so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from that. And so here is the attitude of a servant crying, begging, yearning on the one side. But on the other hand, being optimistic because he knows Allah is full of rahmah. He knows that if there is a mistake, it's going to be on his side. And so he's begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, oh Allah, keep me, give me istiqamah, keep me on that straight path, from one point to another point, to another point, to another point. Every day, let me be steadfast on the truth. So this is now the attitude of Fatiha. Now the other thing that all the ulama agree upon is whether you say it out loud or whether you say it softly. Everyone agrees after reading Fatiha, we should say Ameen. So, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'een, Ihdina as-Sirata al-Mustaqim, Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim, Ghayril Maghdubi alayhim wala ad-Dallin. Ameen.